Hello ladies and gentlemen. This is a video I really wish I didn't need to make. But I feel obligated to make this because a lot is at stake here. It feels like I'm part of a backstory of a fictional futuristic dystopian novel or film where people are being stripped from their freedoms without them even realizing it until it is too late. In case you didn't know, earlier this week on Tuesday, March 26th, all members of the European Union, aka MEPs, adopted an EU copyright reform known as the Article 13, which I believe was renamed to Article 17, but I keep referring to it as the Article 13. I was originally planning to make this video on that same day when the results came out, but I was simply too upset and wanted to calm down, collect my thoughts and get more information, so I'm not going to talk completely out of my ass. Now, what is the Article 13? Well, I try not to go too much into details. There's many other videos that can explain the legal technicalities and such better than I could, but to put it simply, it's a new copyright directive whose main goal, according to EU anyway, is to protect copyright owners' rights better. At first that sounds good, right? I'm all for better copyright protections. Except that this copyright reform would force upload filters onto the internet and make online platforms such as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. directly liable for user-uploaded content, which naturally is a huge risk for the companies in question, because they could be fined or even sued if quote-unquote illegal copyrighted material is ever uploaded on their platforms. And because of the vague and broad wording of the Article 13, even legal content, such as commentary like Let's Plays for instance, reviews, parodies, etc., where copyrighted content is used under fair use, would be illegal. Even something like memes, which is why many have half-jokingly referred to this directive as meme ban. Shortly put, it's bad for users and creators because they will have access to less content and will be unable to share their own content with others. Even when it's legal, because there's no way someone, like YouTube for example, can make filters that are smart enough to distinguish between copyright infringement and legal work such as parody and critique. Their algorithm and content ID system are broken already as it is. The article is also bad for competition, limits creativity, innovation, self-expression, and threatens thousands if not hundreds of thousands of jobs and even free speech itself on the internet. Basically only big corporations and copyright holders in the film, music and game industry and so on who already make millions, hundreds of millions if not billions of dollars a year will benefit from this. So that's what MEPs in their grand wisdom and out-of-touch mindset decided to pass this Tuesday, despite the big backlash it got from basically everyone, regular people who knew about this, the big tech companies and various experts. Hopefully I explained this well enough. So what this all means is that after about 2 more years, around early 2021, when this copyright directive is supposed to officially come into full effect after the governments of each member state, the internet platforms, corporations, etc. have adopted and are following the directive, my channel and all the other European channels owned by people living in the EU will in the worst and most likely scenario be gone. I will no longer be able to make Let's Play videos, my thoughts on videos or any other game related videos, because they are all copyright based content obviously. Even though I am, I guess you could say, in a fortunate position in a sense that I am not making any money on YouTube, I haven't made YouTube into my career, I'm still obviously upset. I feel anxious, scared even, because of this. And I feel truly sorry for the bigger YouTubers who may not have a livelihood anymore in 2021. But I don't want to end this video in a grim tone, because all hope is not lost yet. We don't truly know yet what is going to happen after 2 years. It depends on many things. First, the next step for the Article 13 is the final approval of the Council at the ministerial level, where heads of the member states or governments meet and give their final approval or disapproval, which is expected to be held sometime in April. The member states can still turn it down. Secondly, 2 years is a long time. I don't know what can or cannot be done afterwards, assuming the Council of Ministers will approve the article. I don't know, can it still be revisited and improved or even repealed if the MEPs or member states want to do so in the future before year 2021. But many things can happen in that time. Thirdly, from what I understood, the Article 13 as a copyright directive is not a law that the member states of the EU must obey to the letter, which is a good thing considering how vague and flawed the text is. It's more like a guideline, so it is open for interpretation, and some countries can be either more lax or strict with enforcing it than others. Although the EU Commission, from what I have read on Twitter, did recently state that they won't accept any quote-unquote watered-down laws of the directive, and those countries who do that will be fined. So they really want to hammer this down hard. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, it depends what the big platform tech companies such as YouTube/Google, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, etc. are going to do and how the EU will respond to them. Will they be able to find a compromise with the EU? Are they going to apply to the new directive of the EU and 28 different versions of the new copyright law set by each member state? Or will they just say screw it and stop doing business in the EU countries altogether? Google doing that would especially be a huge deal, as they would block the Google search engine, YouTube and other services like Google Drive and Google Maps practically from the entire European continent. It's going to be scary, but also admittedly interesting to see. Now, what can we do about this? Well, if you live in a country part of the European Union, there's quite a few things that you can do. 1. Spread the word, obviously. Share this video, or some other videos that explain the article and its consequences better than I do. And share the links you can find down below in the description. 2. Sign the Stop the Censorship Machinery, Save the Internet petition. Over 5.2 million people living in the European Union have signed this petition by now. The link can be found down below. 3. If there's any rallies nearby protesting the Article 13, do join them. As long as it's a peaceful one, of course. I will do that if there's ever going to be any near me. 4. If you have never cared about politics and don't vote in political elections usually, and I admit I wasn't interested in politics either until recent years, this whole Article 13 fiasco being one of the reasons why I started to pay more attention, now is the time to be politically more active. Down in the description there is a link leading you to #SaveYourInternet website. Last time I checked they are still updating the site after the results of this Tuesday, but soon you should be able to see all the maps of each country who voted for or against the Article 13. You'll also see the political parties in the European Parliament and in their own countries. Vote for those who were and still are against the Article 13. Let's vote in the candidates and parties who are against it and vote out the relics of the past. 5. And lastly, email your representatives. If you don't know what to say or to whom, don't worry. Save Your Internet will help you out with that as well by providing you the email addresses and an email example with all the important key points. Or at least that's what they did before the Tuesday's results. I'm assuming they are working on an update on that as well. So bookmark and revisit the site occasionally for updates. But don't just copy-paste the message they provide. Customize it, and even better, write it in your own language. This way they know it's an actual person who wrote the email and not a bot spamming their email addresses. Be polite, of course, but do let them know that you will not vote for candidates or political parties who are supporting the Article 13 in its current form. It's a pain in the ass, I know, but a lot is at stake here. I myself wrote 2 emails to my MEPs before the Tuesday's voting, and of course I'm gonna do it again and email the right people before the Ministerial Council meeting in April. As for those outside of the European Union, what can you do? Not a whole lot, I'm afraid. But you can do one thing. Spread the word. Let everyone, especially your European friends, know about this bullshit the EU is trying to pull off. Because most Europeans don't either know about this new directive, or don't simply understand the seriousness of it since the EU hasn't exactly been loud about it and has been downplaying its potential consequences. The more people know and talk about this, get angry at the EU, and let them know that we are angry, the better. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about and let you guys know. I apologize that this video was so serious and even grim. I did not want to make a video like this, but I felt like I had to. I am still going to continue making Let's Play and other videos like normally until the very end, of course, so don't you worry about that. I am not going anywhere just yet. If/when this directive is about to go into full effect in its current form around early 2021, I will make one last update video and let you guys know what I am going to do next. Again, if you live in the European Union, spread the word, sign the petition, protest, go vote, send emails, etc. I can't stress enough how important this is. This is not just about banning memes on Twitter. The Article 13 will change the internet as we know it. Our freedom on the internet is at stake here. Thank you for watching, or listening rather, and see you in the next video.